Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm doing a review on the Amon Amarth War Materials boxing gloves. So check it out. Hey guys, Carlo here. Today I'm doing a review on the Amon Amarth War Materials boxing gloves. It comes in this black, silver, and red colorway. I got mine in 14 ounces. It's a Velcro closure only model. You can get this anywhere between 12 and 18 ounces. And from a design and colorway standpoint, it only comes in this one colorway and design, the black, silver, and red with this unique Nordic design, which we'll go over in a little bit more detail here in a second. It utilizes full genuine leather throughout the entire glove with layered foam padding over the knuckle area that has a very firm density to it, which we'll discuss in terms of performance. And the gloves are manufactured in Pakistan. Now, Amon Amarth is actually a Swedish death metal band that did a collaboration with ex-UFC heavyweight champion Josh Barnett to create these gloves. So you can see that's kind of where the inspiration of this glove came from, with this unique Nordic Viking design. When you're looking at the glove itself, you know, in terms of the design, it looks very unique. I don't think I've ever had a pair of gloves that look like these. You have that silver with the red outlining. You have some of these triangles. It's very similar to the Amon Amarth logo. What the actual significance or the meaning behind this logo, I'm not too sure what that is, to be honest with you. Maybe there's some information, which I looked on their website, I didn't see anything, but there may be some information if you Google it and look deep enough. I'm sure you can find something on what the actual design and the artwork mean and what the meaning behind it is. But it looks very unique. You have it all throughout the glove. If you're not a big fan of a lot of loud graphics and whatnot, you might not appreciate this. I appreciate it in the fact that I don't think I've ever seen anything like it or have another pair of gloves that look like this. So I definitely like that part. But you have this design up here with 4 circles. It almost kind of reminds me of like a dragon or something. I'm not sure what that is, or maybe that's just some type of leaf. I don't know. You have these triangles here. Again, more of that design. You have some more of the design on the thumb. 3.5-inch Velcro strap as well, with that design all throughout the Velcro strap. You also have it, you can see that they have it a little bit above and below the Velcro there as well. Coming to the palm side, again, the design is throughout the entire glove. So all throughout the palm side, you have that design, as well as on the wrist support. The wrist support itself, I'd say, is about 3/4 of an inch of medium density foam padding on the back of the wrist, polyester nylon liner, about an inch of soft foam padding on the inside of the wrist that goes all the way throughout. Now, in terms of the profile of this glove, to me, this is kind of a hybrid glove. A hybrid meaning a mix between a traditional boxing glove, conventional boxing glove, if you want to call it, and a Thai style glove. It has kind of the width and stockiness of a Thai style glove, but it also has a little bit of the length of the cuff of a traditional boxing glove that's not rounded like a Thai style glove. Thai style gloves tend to be shorter and they have a rounded cuff, meaning that it's all one full piece of foam that's rounded out to give them flexibility in clinching. It does not have this with this glove. It has more of a traditional cuff. With that being said, it does have the padding like a Thai style glove that rises up from the bottom of the cuff all the way to the palm side. So you can see there's a lot of padding right here on this palm side. Again, that's for parrying strikes, whether it's punches, kicks, knees, or elbows. And they put more padding on here compared to a traditional boxing glove that typically doesn't have padding that goes horizontally on the palm side. Usually up here, and it typically stops. You have your grip bar and just your stitching, but you typically don't have a lot of padding. So you do have more padding on the palm side. Kind of reminds me of like some of the Venom gloves, like the Venom Elites, the Impacts, where they put more padding on the palm. So in terms of the type of glove that it is, I'd say that this is more of a hybrid glove. Now, outside of the aesthetic design, the leather on here has more of a satin finish to it. You do have your standard Velcro strap right there. It is tapered and it only comes halfway, so it attaches to this end. It doesn't rotate all the way around and attach to the outside edge of the glove. It is tapered to give you a little bit more support on the lower portion of your hand. You do have a grip bar that I'd say is a little bit on the smaller side. It is pretty firm. Wish the grip bar was a little bit bigger. And you also have an attached thumb right here at the very tip. Quality wise, to me, these are kind of your standard, I guess you can say Pakistan grade glove. I mean, the leather on here is again something that you would expect from most Pakistan manufacturers. Nothing crazy, not bad quality, just kind of right there in the middle in terms of thickness and grade and feel. I haven't had any issues with durability in terms of the leather as of yet. You can see the design of the glove looks really good. I like the painted graphics on here. Weight of the gloves, they weighed in, I believe, at 14.3 and 14.4 ounces. These are advertised as a 14-ounce glove, so slightly overweight, nothing I'm too concerned with. So for the sake of conversation, these are pretty much on point with weight for a training glove, which is great to see. You can see that the stitching on the gloves looks really clean. Coming around to the palm side, that looks really good. The placement of the attached thumb is right where it needs to be. Grip bar could definitely be a little bit larger, but the stitching is symmetrical and even. The glove is slightly top heavy, not extremely, but there is a little bit of top heaviness with this glove in terms of weight distribution, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the padding for the inside wrist support is a little bit on the softer side. It's thick, it's just soft, so it doesn't give you a lot of rigid feel on the inside of the wrist, but you do have a little bit of that top heavy feel like you get with a lot of tie style gloves that has a lot more padding towards the top portion of the glove. But you can see there, everything looks really clean. The inside of the liner, no tears or rips. You also have this tag right here that shows war materials, Amon Amarth. You have the logo with the size of the glove and where it's manufactured. The piping looks really clean. The seam for the thumb looks really good as well. So overall, pretty solid construction. Comfort-wise, putting your hand into the glove, liner feels really good. The wrist support feels really good. Probably the first thing that comes to mind is kind of how stiff the gloves are, and that's because of how dense this foam is. So this is the type of glove, and I still haven't even broken it in yet completely. That's going to take a while to break in because of how just dense this foam is. Now, it's not injected molded foam, thankfully. It is layered foam. They just use really dense foam in this glove. And again, you can't really open your hands all the way, even with maximum effort. So being able to parry shots is going to be a little bit harder because of how dense that foam is. The thumb positioning is a little bit awkward. It has a little bit of a flare to it. The depth of it is perfect, and the actual thickness of the padding on the back of the thumb is perfect. It doesn't squeeze down and cut the circulation off to my thumb, but it does flare out just a little bit. Now the piping right here is a good size. It gives me an ample amount of room for my thumb to slide into position, but I feel that the thumb just kind of flares out just a little too much, and I feel like it should have been pulled in a little bit more to give better ergonomic fit. The hand compartment depth is perfect. Nice deep hand compartment, or finger compartment should I say. A little bit on the wider side, so I feel like my fingers kind of scoot around just a little bit when it comes to the width, and again, that's because of how wide this glove is. You can feel the seam right here between the fingertip leather and on this side, so it would have been nice if they put like a piece of neoprene or felt or just something to cover that stitching in terms of just giving yourself a little bit extra comfort. But the depth is good, just a little bit wide. Thumb is slightly awkward, but nice deep finger compartment, and it's definitely a stiffer feeling glove in that regard. Wrist support feels good as well. Protection, performance. You get great sound effects from this glove because of how stiff that foam padding is. It's very shock absorbent, so if you're somebody that has sore knuckles, you need something a little bit more shock absorbent during your training, this is definitely a big glove for you. If you need something that gives you good feedback, not so much, just because of how dense this foam is right off the bat. But you could really, and I know my form's a little bit off right now, but just to kind of show you guys in terms of, you can really lay a lot of power with your shots with these gloves and get that nice popping sound, but it does a really good job of absorbing shock, in my opinion. And that's probably one of the best features of this glove, is if you're looking for something very protective, then this to me would be right up your alley. If you're looking for something a little bit softer, maybe more of like a puncher style glove with horsehair, to me this is like the 180 of that. This is the opposite of that glove. And I've done reviews on those type of gloves before, but this is more of that protective, shock absorbent style glove that takes time to break in. Cost-wise, these gloves are $84.99. So if you want to round up, $85, which to me is a fair price. I think it's a good price. At the price point, you're getting your full leather constructed glove with the unique design. Obviously, that's completely subjective. Some people might hate the way it looks. Some people might love it. It just depends on who you are. But at $85, I think it's a fair price. I mean, you get a good amount of wrist support. It's full genuine leather. There's a couple tweaks in terms of the comfort of the glove. It's not a terribly uncomfortable glove, but it's also not the best in terms of comfort. It does take time for this foam to break in, but it is very protective. So there's kind of pros and cons that you have to balance out. But at the price point, if you're looking for something and you want something very shock absorbent, maybe you have sore knuckles, a hand injury, or you want a glove that you can really hammer down on a heavy bag, densely filled heavy bags, and just not be afraid and have full confidence that you can throw power into it and not injure your hands, this would definitely be a good choice for you. If you're looking for something a little bit more feedback, more horsehair, softer, then this probably won't be up your alley. But again, at the price point at $85, I definitely think that these gloves are priced fairly. So if you guys have any questions or comments, as usual, put them down below. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Amon Amarth warm material boxing gloves. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.